Hey guys, and welcome to Best Reviews. We're giving you our honest take on the top products people are buying online. Today, we're looking at Instant Pots. We here at Best Reviews are going to answer some of the common questions that you consumers have about Instant Pots. The first question, is it working? The short answer is yes. It takes about 10 to 20 minutes to come to pressure. And afterwards, you should see a countdown begin with whatever time you've set. It's a fairly quiet machine, so you're unlikely to hear anything at all, but rest assured, it is working. Will it explode? No. No, it will not. It will not explode. So, what do I do if my recipe calls for the manual button, but I don't have a manual button on my Instant Pot? Some of the newer models that Instant Pots come out with have a pressure cook button in place of the manual button, but rest assured, they do the exact same thing. They're the exact same button. What happens if there's steam coming out of my Instant Pot? It seems to be leaking off the side. Well, that's perfectly normal. Steam's supposed to come out of the vent here. If you need your Instant Pot to come to pressure, you might want to turn it to sealing. But other than that, you can expect a little steam to come out. Now, if you're new to the Instant Pot community, there's a couple acronyms that you might not recognize when you're looking through your recipes. One is NPR, and that stands for natural pressure release. So that's when you're gonna let your Instant Pot return to pressure naturally. QR stands for quick release, and that's where you're going to turn this valve to venting and release that pressure manually. Also, PIP stands for pot-in-pot cooking. So when you're making something like a cheesecake, for instance, you'll have to put a smaller pot within your Instant Pot. There's so many buttons. We get a lot of questions about the particular buttons on the front of the Instant Pot. But the thing to remember, the most important button is the manual button. It's kind of the most basic button that you'll use to cook pretty much anything in your Instant Pot. There are a lot of other presets that you can use to help enhance your cooking experience. For instance, the multi-grain button here actually has a period where it will pre-soak your grains before it'll cook them. What's the minimum amount of liquid needed? Well, if you're trying to bring your Instant Pot to pressure, the minimum amount is a ½ cup. Now that can be any liquid, but it has to be a ½ cup in order to bring your Instant Pot to pressure. So I want to double my recipe. How do I go about that? Do I double my ingredients? Yes, generally in terms of solid food, you're going to want to double your ingredients. A word of caution, when it comes to liquids, that should be on a recipe by recipe basis. Do I need to double my cooking time? Generally, no. The cooking time shouldn't be affected by the amount of food that you have in your Instant Pot, and if you double your cooking time, you're probably going to overcook your food. So I cooked my dish on slow cook mode, and after 8 hours, my food's still raw. Well, the problem that you made is you cooked it on less on slow cook mode. And less is essentially like a keep warm function. That's not really gonna cook your food. You need to have it on at least normal or more to make sure that your food is cooked all the way through, and that way after 8 hours, you're able to eat it. How do you switch between low and high pressure with your Instant Pot? Well, that's with the less and more buttons here. I was asking a question online and I called in an Instapot instead of an Instant Pot, and people got really mad at me. Well, first thing to know, don't take it to heart. There is a big culture surrounding Instant Pots, and their anger directed at you comes more from their love for their Instant Pots and less for their irritation that you called it whatever you wanted to call it. We support you calling it whatever you want to call it, but it is an Instant Pot. If I'm cooking a particular recipe, do I need a different cook time for fresh versus frozen? The answer is actually no. Overall, the cooking times for fresh and frozen food of the same recipe should take the same time. Do recipe cook times include the time it takes to come to pressure? And no, they do not. So what are some good first recipes to try in my Instant Pot? Well, The best part about the Instant Pot is just how fast it is. So it's always fun to see how some dishes that would have taken 8 to 10 hours can be made in as little as 30 minutes. So for instance, you can make some amazing shredded chicken just by putting some chicken breast, a jar of salsa in, seal the lid, and in about half an hour you have a great taco filler that's really healthy and delicious. Other people have made some creamy mac and cheese or a pot roast. Honestly, the potentials are limitless. But that's the best part about the Instant Pot, is to see those recipes that took a really long time and just see how fast you can make them. So play around, experiment, and see what recipes work for you. Can I convert my slow cooker recipes to the Instant Pot? Well, the answer is yes. And it's gonna vary, but doing a quick search online will give you boundless information on all different kinds of slow cooker recipes that you can make much quicker in an Instant Pot. So there's so many things that the Instant Pot does well. What can't it do well? Well, crispy food never turns out really well in the Instant Pot. It cooks with steam. Dairy is tricky with the Instant Pot. If you need to include it in your recipe, be sure to add it at the end. It's tricky to see what's going on inside the Instant Pot, and not being able to see in there can be a little disadvantageous. But despite that, we still think that the Instant Pot, for its functionality and versatility, is great. We hope we've been able to provide you with some insight today on one of our favorite products here at Best Reviews, the Instant Pot. Thanks guys for visiting us. Be sure to check us out online at bestreviews.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/bestreviews. See you later.